Hey, good morning. Good morning. This should be an interesting show. But before I get into that, last night, Get Crack Imperious and I, uh, well, yeah, we discussed a little bit of trucking news, but mostly uh, houses in California, Southern California for the most part. Just looking around at their property values in Southern California is pretty interesting. I did not know. Well, I knew that the houses were expensive, but I did not know they were that expensive and that modest in some ways. The houses look very modest from the front, but they can have amazing views from the back. But anyway, I mentioned this topic yesterday about the YouTube analytics, things like that. And it's a particular interest of mine. Most of you know that I deal with Airbnb a little bit. So I've taken a particular interest in their search algorithm. And I've developed a lot of search algorithms over the years for the myriad of companies. Almost every project I worked on, there was a search engine involved. Either it was an internal type search engine where you're searching for internal uh, content, or it was external where you're searching for some external content. And not to give you my bona fides or anything, but I'll show you some of the search engines that I've worked on. Just a couple, just so you get an idea my experience level and what I'm about to talk about here. So let's go here. I'll just share the screen for now. Here are some of the search engines that I've worked on. Well, sites, companies, where search engines that I've worked on. Let's see, Mary Kay. So I worked on this search engine here for Mary Kay. If you've ever been to the Mary Kay website, put one in the chat if you can hear me clearly. So Mary Kay's website. So if you go here and you search for, say, makeup, okay, so even before you hit enter, it has already done like a preliminary search for you and brought up some um, products. And then you have the option to see all the results here. And you'll see all of these results here. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but up in the URL, you'll see something like this. Copy. And you'll see this. Right. Actually, you'll see, I think I copied that incorrectly. You'll see that. And I'll put that on the screen here just so everyone can see it once it shows up. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. Anyway, here's what is called the URL. So the first part of this URL, all the way up to here, just more or less the domain. And you'll see here, now you're starting to give the search algorithm the parameters that it needs to return the proper results. So you see English-US. So that's going to specify bring back English results for the US. Could be English for the UK, as an example. And so now you have your search parameters here. So search, it could be anything, but in this case, it's search. And everything after the question mark are like your search params here. So search term equals makeup. And you saw that's when I entered into the to the search bar there. So I searched for makeup, and you see that it brought me back makeup. Now, the question you might want to ask in is, well, how did it know to bring back this product here, this product there, this product here, so on and so forth? How did it sort them? Clearly, they are not sorted by price, because this one is more expensive than this one. So how did they sort these? How did they order these on the screen? And that is all due primarily to the algorithm and how it returns your results. It could be that this product is more likely to be purchased. So they put it here first. This product may be an add-on or something that after you purchase this, you never know what's going on in the back of the algorithm, but there clearly is an algorithm at play. And typically, if you hit this button, refresh this page, the page could, and so it may or may not change. Let's see. So it didn't change. Okay, great. So it's showing you that the algorithm is more or less, for the most part, just staying dynamic in that sense. So let's go here. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was every company that has a search feature has to have a search engine. So what are some of the search engines? I've already pulled this up for you. The search engine that I work the most with is Solar. Solar is a search engine. I think down below is using Lucene to perform the searches, and there are all different types of indexes. How you can create your indexes, I can show you that later. So here's some of the companies that are using Solar: AOL, Cisco, Buy.com, Apple, Cheap Tickets, on and on it goes. But again, the underlying technologies, I think it's Lucene typically. But most of the times you will have something that sits on top of Lucene that you actually write queries against. So that would be like the interface, as they would call it. So let me see. I'm not sure if you saw that. You didn't see that. So let me share that tab with you. All right. Let me share this tab. So again, what companies use Solar? And Solar is the search engine that I've primarily used. It has been like the default search engine, but many of the companies like Mary Kay that I showed you is using Solar. Team USA, I developed Team USA. They use Solar. I'll show you that. Well, I've already shown you that, but I'll show you that again. I've shown you the World Bank sites. Again, they all use Solar in the back end. Well, maybe the World Bank use another search engine. I'll show you the name of that one. But there are a couple choices. Maybe YouTube, Google built out their own search engine, but underlying every search engine is an index. And so what is an index? So search index. What is a search index? Here is a search index. Let's just say, cookies for this. What is a search index? When you type keywords on a website's internal site search engine, how does it display the results? It uses a system called search indexes. Let's go down. What is a search index? So I can explain to you. A search index helps users quickly find information on a website. The best way I can probably explain it to you is an index in a book, right? Think about an index in a book. And that's kind of how search indexes work. There's some technical aspects to it and how they find content. And we'll get into a high level of that, but you don't have to concern yourself with that. You can find an index usually at the end of the book, which includes a list of keywords organized alphabetically. That keywords, don't forget that. Each of the keywords points to the page where you can find useful information regarding the keyword. That's pretty much how every index works. Now I'll show you keywords and things like that later. As an example, you might have a book about animals with several hundred pages. You want to find information about cats. In the index, you will look for the word cat and read up on the pages that are mentioned. So there will be multiple instances of cat being mentioned in the book. So there will be multiple instances or records of it in the index, right? So that's kind of an example. So I think that gives you enough baseline to understand indexes. And I know you can read that, but let me maximize it just so. I keep forgetting to maximize the screen, but you don't need to read it. I just read it to you. So the next thing I wanted to discuss with you is as it relates to searching and all that. So when you're searching, here's an article that I read that explained YouTube search. And one of the things I want to point out to you, and I've already highlighted some of the comments here, the content that I think is very relevant. But one of the things you're going to find out here is that all the things I just mentioned in the last, 10 minutes or so, most of it won't be mentioned in this article. There just is a lack of depth there. Whoever wrote this article probably did very, very basic research, probably is not a software developer. There's no offense against the person. But just a lack of depth, it doesn't give you a lot to work on to understanding. how to go about understanding search in any context, YouTube or any other site. So here are some of the things that the article says. Understanding YouTube analytics. Analytics provides all-time and short-term metrics. All-time metrics include how many videos users have shared, subscriber numbers to the channel, video views, so on and so forth, shares, likes, comments, blah, blah, blah. If you've ever been to, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Key metrics for subscriber acquisition. If you're watching this and you're thinking about starting a channel, or if you already have a channel, you definitely are going to be concerned with subscriber acquisition, particularly if you're trying to monetize your stream, or if you're just trying to get your message out to as many people as possible. You want to grow your subscriber base. So how do you do that? So this article is telling you it can be overwhelming at first. So it's worth narrowing your analysis to the criteria that matter most. If your goal is to grow your subscriber base, focus on views, overall views, watch time, impressions, click-through rate, and your subscriber conversion rate. All right. So we'll get into some of those when I show my analytics here for the few videos that I put up. These 5 metrics give you the information you need to understand how effective your content has been in attracting YouTube users, views, keeping them engaged, watch time, and encouraging them to come back for more conversions. Watch time is one of the key metrics YouTube uses to rank your content. So here's where I'll ask you a question and see if you kind of understand what's been discussed so far. If you have 2 users, hypothetically, 2 YouTube streamers, and they both have 100 million views talking about the exact same thing, let's just say Kendrick Lamar, they're talking about Kendrick Lamar, and they both have 100 million views. And if you search for Kendrick Lamar, which one will YouTube show you? Which one will it show you first at the top of the page? And there are other factors and criteria that YouTube and all search engines will look to boost one result over the other. And let me, where should I go here? So one of the things, from the article, it shows you that watch time is one of the key metrics. So if you had 2 users with 100 million views, and they say if they had the same length of video, let's say 3 minutes, YouTube will give you analysis of, well, whose video was watched the most. And that is the video that we would recommend, because again, YouTube is trying to sell ads, and the more engaging content is going to be the content that YouTube is going to push to the person searching for it. Something else from the article, check YouTube analytics to learn about the age, gender, and location of your users. That is correct. YouTube analytics does provide that type of stuff. Demographic insights. It also allows creators to segment their audience. That's true. And create content that targets specific subsets of viewers. We're going to take a look at that as well. This is all from the article here. YouTube analytics shows creators in detail whether their viewers found their content through a YouTube search or clicked on suggested videos. This is very important to most YouTube streamers. For YouTube, and I don't know for sure because I haven't seen their algorithm, but I would imagine, because I'm familiar with Airbnb and other algorithms, if you're searching for something, if you say I'm on Google and I search for Kevin Samuels on YouTube, and you go directly to YouTube, that's a search outside of YouTube that brought you to YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you search for Kevin Samuels on the YouTube page, that's a different kind of result or metric in a sense. Where did you search for this content? Was it a suggested video? Did someone share this link with you? You may be surprised to know that if you send a YouTube video, a link to a video of a video to someone, YouTube knows that they can analyze that data and say, okay, this video is being shared quite a bit. Once you hit the share button, I'll see if I can show you a YouTube screen to explain to you what I mean. Let's see here. Share this tab. So if I were to, let's say, go to music or law enforcement, if I were to share this video, share. Okay. Once I share this video, you see this that is highlighted here? Let me see. YouTube is going to know that this video was shared. And if you're logged in, they're going to know who shared the video and all of the demographics related to the person that's sharing this video. And they're going to know if that person views the video, they're going to know who that person is once he comes back to take a look at the video. They're going to know. It basically completes the circle. This person shared the video to that person. That person came back and watched the video. He may have shared it with someone else, but the initial node of who shared the video would clearly be identifiable there. So YouTube will make that available to you. So let's go back. A couple other things I wanted to point out. Top performing YouTube videos for views will also rank highly for audience retention. That's what I mentioned earlier. Two identical streamers with 100 million views apiece, 3-minute videos apiece. One person had 30-second audience retention and the other person had 2 minutes. One video clearly is of higher quality in terms of YouTube's point of view than the other, the one that has the audience more engaged. And other engagements such as comments and likes. So let me point out to something. I watch Lead Attorney. Anyone in the chat, if you watch Lead Attorney, feel free to say, yeah, I watch Lead Attorney. So one of the things that Lead Attorney, and I'm not sure, I don't know, let me look at some of your comments here. One of the things I noticed about Lead Attorney is that he'll often say, if you're in the chat, if you're in the live chat, am I missing something? I don't know how to say it at the moment. Everyone can hear me though, right? I just want to make sure Troll is saying related as in any connection. Well, one of the things Lead Attorney does in his when he's streaming online is he'll suggest to the audience members, he'll say, hey, why don't you guys put your city where you're located? So what he's doing there is he's basically getting his audience to engage. It doesn't really matter what city they're from because they already know that. Google is already giving him all the analytics of where you're from. And again, I'm not picking on him. It's actually pretty smart. So I'm highlighting something that he's doing that's pretty smart. So if you watch a Lead Attorney, he'll oftentimes ask you engaging questions or get his audience to engage in the chat. Someone would donate some money. He may say, put High Value Man in the chat. God damn it. High Value Man, $50. Put him in the chat. Show some love to the brother. Show some love to the brother in the chat. Put what city you're in the chat. Troll says, sorry, I'm working back and forth from home. Your audio. Thank you. Thank you. So Lead Attorney will say, he'll constantly get you to engage in the chat, put money, hit like for this person that just donated some money. Stay funny, Willis, Gorilla Grip, if you've ever watched. I mean, he's very, very good at this to keep the chat engaged. And that is one way. And I think when you're looking at search engines, there are criteria that they use to boost the show results. So if you go Google for the YSL trial, there are probably 1 million people talking about it. So how do you narrow those down to deliver the most relevant information to the people searching for it to keep them from going to another search engine? They can't find it on YouTube quickly. They're going to move on to somewhere else. So someone says likes. Yeah, likes are important, I think. But from a software perspective, I think that likes are cheap. And I think that the algorithm likely discounts likes quite a bit. They may what they call a decrement alike from a search engine standpoint. Let me see if I can give you another search engine term that will really apply here. Oh, I'm not typing. Let me see. So there's something called boosting in search engines. So if something has a high audience retention, it'll get boosted. So you'll see something like this: how to use the solar boost function. So every search engine has a boosting ability where you can boost something based upon any criteria. So in this case, it's saying document.add field being title, this being, the value in the field, and this is some boosting factor here. And you can see it can be done at query time as well as at creation of the index time. So things like that really come into play when you have a lot of content. Certain content is going to be boosted based upon all the different measures that that YouTube is using in their algorithm. So my thought is that if you really wanted to grow your subscriber base, you would probably want people to share your content as much as you would like them to like your content. I'm sure that there are bots and things like that that can boost your likes. There are probably bots out there clearly that can increase your subscriber count, but it's very difficult for a bot, much more difficult, I would say, for a bot to share your content, and then whoever that bot shared it with to come back, have a Google profile, and watch this content, or even if they watch it anonymously. That is much more valuable than a simple like. In my opinion, if I were building an algorithm, this would be gameable. This would be a little bit more difficult to game. And again, I mentioned the chat. Again, lead attorney, he does very good with this because I think this is a very important factor here, engagement in the chat. And so this clearly has to be one of the criteria that YouTube is measuring, because if you have 10,000 messages in the chat live while you're talking, that's a measure of clearly engagement, audience retention. So that's why I think this is very important. And again, your lead attorney, he will use his power to get people to engage in the chat very, very effectively. So I started off mentioning boosting. I think I've given you enough of an understanding of that. Facets. Let me see if I can show you a facet. Tags, an example, Twitter. So I'll show you an example of Twitter. If we were to go to Twitter right now, and again, none of this stuff was in that article, Understanding YouTube Algorithm. So let's see if I can show you an example of like facets and stuff like that, and as well as tagging. So whenever you go to YouTube, you'll see something like this: hashtag blah blah blah. You'll see that all over the place. And one of the what's happening here is that this allows the search engine to aggregate based upon these tags here. So anything under, say, Maxine, anyone that put hashtag Maxine would, it would be aggregated there. It doesn't mean that they will all show, but from a search engine perspective, it would go and look for, say, results for engage the president. So you see this hashtag engage the president, 33.4 posts. So you can tell that there is some aggregating there where any hashtag engage the president are going to all be kind of aggregated here under here. So if you choose here, you're going to see all of in the search engine, you see what you search for, engage the president. And I didn't mean to do that. All of these, Twitter will have engage the president, if you notice that, right? Engage the president. Without that tag, these likely would not show. So that is why they put that tag here. So now I think it's a good time for me to show you something else and how people use tags all the time. So let's see if we go to YouTube, we may see an example of it. Let's see. Let's see if we go here. Let's see. Let's take a look at Ben Thorpe's page. Let's see. Share this page. And let's see. Let me close the chat. And one of the things, well, they don't have, let's see, do they have any description? Well, they don't have any description in theirs. But oftentimes you'll see hashtag what they're talking about or what the subject matter is about. You'll see that there. I'm not sure if that matters or not, but you'll see it. And so if you want your content to be kind of rolled up in a category, it's probably a good thing to do it. It can't hurt. Let's see if Scott Adams, if he does it. Let's see if he does it in his description here. He does not. Let's see if he does it here. Let's see if he does it on this live. Let me close this. He doesn't really have his description here. No hashtags, but he does have, some big keywords: Biden, brain, Trump. And he has 162,000 subscribers, so he's going to get a decent people watching. And he just started on a regular basis. So again, he doesn't have any hashtags here, but again, he has enough audience where he probably doesn't have to do that. So anyway, those are the things that I think give you a good primer into jumping right into looking at my analytics. So let me see if any of you guys have any questions. Feel free to ask them in the chat here. Let's see what I have in the chat. Let's go, John. Yeah, hit the like button. Share it as well if you like. Poll questions add to the engagement. That is true, because that gets you right in the door in the chat. The more provocative the question, the more likely people will answer that question. And then they may even start engaging in the chat. And hell, they can't send you a super chat if they're not in the chat. So there is that as well. Here's some interesting things. By the way, did you guys know what the take is on super chats? Does anyone know what the take is on super chats? And I could be wrong, but I swear I read this the other day. If you know what the take is, like YouTube's take on super chats, if you have an idea or want to guess, put it in the chat, and we may get to that at some point. 1 times 1 is 2 equals trending. Yeah, that is correct. Richard is correct. At least that's what I read. 30%. That's a pretty big cut. I think I was listening to a YouTube stream where streamers were complaining about not making as much money as they used to, and the advertising deals and things like that are drying up. So wow, 30% cut. No wonder these guys want you to get on. Someone says you need to pay taxes. Do you pay taxes on the 100% or on the 70%? That would be messy if you had to pay taxes on the 100%. And someone said YouTube is eating off the super chats. Yeah. With that kind of big, I mean, that's a damn good business. They're not creating any content and taking 30% off every dollar. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. Someone says Amazon is 50%. They're evil, greedy. Yeah, that is amazing. I did not know that. I think I can see why the YouTubers are really complaining about the revenue. Wow, that's really amazing. I have some thoughts or some suggestions on that as well, of how I think YouTubers can go about it. The ones with an ability to do that. But let's take a look at the analytics. And we're probably going to have to do maybe two or three shows on this, because this suite is expansive here. Stop sharing, share my screen, customize the channel. So now we are in, let's see, studio.youtube.com. And this is specifically for my channel. So let's So let me make sure you can see the screen. Let me go back and make sure you can see the screen. Am I on the right tab? Stop sharing. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, there it is. All right. I can close this tab. Yeah. All right. So make sure you can see it. Let me blow it up a little bit. So on the left-hand side, you'll see dashboard, content, analytics, comments, settings, send feedback. And so what we'll do right now is we'll cover the dashboard and the content tab if we have time. There's a lot of content, a lot of data and analytics from these two tabs. So let's start the dashboard. So you see here it has your latest live stream performance. It'll show you your views, average duration, peak concurrent viewers. Peak concurrent viewers, probably peak viewers watching at any one given time. It shows all your published videos, your latest posts, likes, comments again. And so there are two different types of comments. There are the live comments, and there are the comments after a video has been published. So I think these are here. These are not the live comments, if I'm not mistaken here. Then you'll see all of your recent subscribers here. And so then you see some of the, what's new in studio, creator insider, top videos, what else? Channel analytics, current subscribers, what else? Views, watch time, hours, blah, blah, blah. 10,000 views. So any new achievement that you have, 100 subscribers. Okay. Age restrictions set. So oftentimes you publish a video and then they'll send you a message saying, hey, this video is limited in this country or limited in that country or some copyright. So you'll have to do something like this, review the content, begin review. And for me, I don't have time to edit or appeal this stuff. So as long as it's not a big deal, I'm not submitting an appeal. I'm just going to say, got it. Yeah, I got it. Dismiss. Cool. So anyway, so this is the dashboard. This is kind of your high level view of everything you have going on here. And now we'll take a look at if anyone wants me to dig deeper into anything on here, just put a 1 in the chat. Otherwise, we'll see it as we go right here. Let's go to content. John can talk about Iceman. Hey, I think this is pretty interesting because I'm going to do a stream tomorrow. And I'm going to, CT was talking about the other day about he went on the panel and he showed he was talking about the black streamers and things like that. So I'm going to give a stab at why they are being encouraged to do this. It's almost like a feedback loop, and it's kind of hard to get out of talking about one thing when YouTube is sending you those people and not sending you people on things that you would much rather talk about. So yeah, I think I'll give you an example of that as well. I think YouTube will send you a $10.99 for that 70%. That sounds about right. That sounds right. All right, so let's take a look here. So this is the content selection here on the left-hand side from the menu here. And so this is just a list of all the videos that I've done that any content creator would have. And then I think this is just videos. So if you go live, then your live videos would show up here. So these are your live streams. So you can see this is the one that we're currently streaming here. So here well, let's look across the top. You see video, shorts, live. So this is all the categories of videos that you have. So if we were to look at the content, we see everything here. We see the type, streaming software, visibility. You can make these public, private, or unlisted. Restrictions, none. Date, just date of publish. So let's look into one of these videos. Let's look at this one. Well, I haven't done that one yet. So let's look at this one. This is one that's already been done. So this is HB and John Galt on trucking. This must have been yesterday. Well, we can look at the one from the day before. There should be a little bit more statistics. So when you create a video, if you're using StreamYard basically is an interface to YouTube. So YouTube, from a software perspective, exposes these fields here. So it exposes a title field that's required and a description field. And so here you'll see that I put in some hashtags, and you click here, you see that YouTube is giving you metrics, 136 videos, 42 channels, so on and so forth. There may be none for this one, self-driving trucks, but I put in some hashtags here, and you'll see some people do it, some people don't. I'm not sure if it makes sense, but people do it. So you may also put a description here. So if you remember when I talked about search engines earlier and search engine optimization, people talk about that a lot. Typically, search engines are going to search what they call, I think the term is searchable fields. They will index maybe everything, but a couple of the fields will be searchable. So in this instance, this field here and this field here, the description field, are likely the searchable fields. So writing description with keywords can help viewers find your streams. That's correct. Because when you search on YouTube, these two fields are being searched. I guarantee you that. These are the searchable fields. A catchy title can help you hook viewers when you create stream titles. It's a good idea to include keywords your audience is likely to use when looking for streams. That's basically them telling you that this plays heavy into the search algorithm here. All right, so on this particular stream, so you also have the option of adding thumbnails. And again, let me go off topic just for 1 second so I can show you something to show you exactly what is kind of a one-to-one relationship here. Let's say we have this. If I wanted to create a stream, and I'm going to share this tab, I could create the stream, and you're going to see the same fields. Now, this is not YouTube. This is StreamYard. But you see the same fields here that you see on Google. Here, right? You see the title, and you see the description. And once I enter a title and a description, the privacy policy, and the date, and the thumbnail, it's going to allow me to add a thumbnail. Once I hit schedule for later, you'll see a thumbnail here. And these are all the fields that correspond to here. In corporate world, they would call it like data mapping or whatever. So, but that's basically, you'll see that here. Title, description, thumbnail, playlist. So you can see this field is not exposed. Audience, and you can see these are set default to no, so on and so forth. So that's what StreamYard does for you. It basically fills in these values. I didn't write this here in YouTube. I wrote this in StreamYard, and it just copied it over. So that's basically that. So let's look at some of the analytics. I need to go back here. And where are these upcoming? So let's look at one from yesterday. I think I can pull up the analytics. All right, let's look at this one. Since it's about a day older, let me see if what's down here. And you get some customization here, subtitles, in-screen cards. So let's go to, what's customization? Oh, this is just live chat replay. Analytics. So let's go to analytics. Now this is for one video, is showing you the analytics. You can see the video here. This is the HB and John Galt going coast to coast. 431 views since it was published. You'll see that 431 views. Watch time 166 hours. Updating live, I guess 487 views in the last 48 hours total, or since published. How your audience engaged engaged with your last stream. Chat messages and reactions while live, 1,700 messages, 714 reactions. So again, this is one of those fields, one of those areas where you really can't game it with bots. And I think YouTube really uses this data, this content here, this data to generate which results show up first in their algorithm here. How many viewers were watching your live stream? So it tells you 40 peak concurrent viewers while live, 19 on average. What else? So now here's something that I can't show you. Maybe I can show you for a different stream, but it gives you audience retention. And remember, this is one of the important criteria that we mentioned, like how engaged are they? How long do they hang around? From the beginning to end of your stream, you know, they did 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I once wrote some software for a travel company. I'm trying to think of the name of the company now, but it was up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And they had videos of travel documents, travel videos on their site. And they would measure like who watched the video. I think it was more than 15 seconds. So if you watched the video for 15 seconds, they figured that you were very interested. They would reach out to you, maybe send you an expensive mail or flyer. So that is one example of audience retention being a very, very key measure. The kind of the quality versus the quantity of your engagement here. So it's very important. Viewers, that's very important too. How many watch live versus the recorded version. But I would probably say you can split the baby here. If you get a lot of people to watch your stream after you've published it and not as many live, I think you can split the baby there and say that, you know, it's a wash. But the audience retention, whenever they watch it, you need to get them to hold on as long as possible. You'll hear streamers say, hey, don't close the tab, just leave it open, because what they're trying to do is gain the audience retention there. So let's look at reach. See, there's a lot of content here, and this is per video. I don't know if I covered this, but impressions, total number of times your video thumbnail was shown to viewers since the video was published. So 251 times someone has at least had it on their screen. Click-through rate, views per impression shown. So that's how many times someone clicked on it, divided by the impression number. So divided by 251. Total views. So you got that. Unique viewers. I think it's a processing lag here. Maybe a processing lag, maybe not. Then there's a little graph. Data for impressions is displayed up to the minute. This is an estimate and may be adjusted over time as the data becomes more refined. So they're constantly refining and cleaning data there. Probably filtering out some of the bots that have been able to turn on a YouTube stream and drive up the viewership, the viewer count. So they do quite a bit of cleaning here. So you'll see the numbers update like right after a stream is published. This is very interesting. How viewers find this live stream. Browser features, traffic from the homepage, home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. It's pretty important. Other YouTube features that don't fall into any other categories, such as views from partner promotions or the dashboard. Okay, suggested videos, channel pages, traffic from your YouTube channel page, other YouTube channel pages, or topic channel pages. So I think this is if someone watches a video on your page, and then they end up watching another video, then that is a different criteria. David does a very good job of this. He'll show a video and then he says, if you want more of this, to the left, you can watch the entire video. To the right, you can see the catalog of all of our videos. Basically, he's trying to capture people here with the channel pages. I think this would fit on the channel pages. And then there's YouTube search terms used by viewers on YouTube. to find your content. So you see this 2%, and then there's just an other. And over here, impressions are, again, when your YouTube thumbnail appears on someone's page when they search for something, or when they arrive on their homepage. An example of that would be that right here. Let me see if I have it open. So right here, all of these are like impressions. And so right now there's probably 2 impressions for this page, or 3. And as I scroll down, these views are getting impressions. Now I haven't clicked on them yet, but they are getting impressions because I could click on any of these at any given point in time. So back to the video analytics. We're about done here. Share this page. So impressions, 4,300 impressions, 6.6% click-through rate. This is data available as of July 4th. That was 1 day ago. Views from impressions, 284. Average view duration, 17 minutes. Watch time from impressions, 81 minutes. So as you can see, there's some data that still takes a bit to process. And proportion of your traffic. So I guess people look for John Galt, or someone looked for John Galt. So let's see what else people search for. You kind of see. Look, well, this is, I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see this. This is probably some very interesting content if you can see this here. Morning, Garen. Someone says, does it show recent unsubscribers? You know, we could go back and look at that. I'll take a look. Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, there should be some kind of alert. Hey, this guy just unsubscribed from you. That would be very interesting there. Maybe, particularly if you had a bunch of people unsubscribing, then you would probably kind of want to drill down in as to who's unsubscribing. That's a very good question. Very good question. Yeah, let's see. So here you can kind of see, let's see, content, traffic source, where the traffic is coming from, browser features, all of this, geography. I'm not sure what this is showing. Oh, United States, and it shows you cities. Oh, data is still processing, so we can, let's see if there's a video where I can find some where it shows you the cities. Let's see. I have to probably go back a little bit where there is at least some content here. Videos. Let's see. Let's find one that got quite a few videos. Let's look at, I guess, Tyrone, that did about 400 views or something like that. Let's take a look at this one. All right, so let's see what cities these people come from. New York, Frisco, Texas, and Philadelphia. Wow, that's some very specific information. That's some very specific information. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. Philadelphia people. I'm not sure if I'm not sure how they're grouping that. Your age. It gives you an idea of the age, dates, subscription status. Let me see. We'll scroll down. So it gives you kind of idea of subscribe versus unsubscribe. So 144 people looked at this video that were subscribed, and 229 were not subscribed. So that's interesting. I guess if you were a content creator, you would want to convert these people. You probably want your numbers. I mean, I guess you can look at it one or two ways. You're reaching audience that's outside of your subscriber base, basically, you know, maybe almost not 2 to 1, but, you know, 60% to 38%. But are these people subscribing? You probably want to convert these people to subscribers if you're, or maybe they're logged out or not subscribed. Okay, so these people could be subscribed but just not logged in. So that could be possible as well. And there's some other statistic. Oh wow, it tells you device type. Let's see what people, mobile phone, computer, tablet. Interesting. So, you know, if you were, let's see if it tells you what type of mobile phone. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would be very, very interesting. Interesting that 86 views came from a television. That's very interesting. Okay. All right. That's very interesting. Anything else you guys want me to cover? It's quite a bit more. But I think this is a pretty good stopping point here. It's been about an hour. I think I gave you a pretty good primer, very high level on search engines. Solar being a very popular search engine. Then I walk you through what facets, tags, boosting. And now we've kind of settled in here on the YouTube analytics page here for a couple videos. So are there any other questions? Actually, I learned some of this myself while I was going through it with you here. A lot of information here. A lot of information. Any questions? Any questions in the chat? Let's see. Any questions? No questions? All right. All right. Well, I think it's been pretty informative. I think that if anyone is looking to start a YouTube stream, this will give you a good start. I'm going to come back and I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into it. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a stream on, let me see if I can show it to you. Let's see what the title, I don't want to get the title. I don't want to get the title wrong here. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a stream on, let's see what we got here. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a stream on, let's see, view my channel live, upcoming. Share this page instead. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a stream on, what is it here? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Why do the black male content creators focus on women? And I think that we'll dig back deeper into the YouTube studio and you'll see that there are a lot of suggestions. Once you get a lot of content, or not a lot, but once you get enough content, maybe 100 videos, I'm not sure. I'm not there yet, so I can't tell you. But once I get there, I'll be able to tell you what the reasoning is or what the logic is. That once you get a certain number of videos, YouTube is able to give you a little bit more insight as to what you should talk about. And so that's why I think it becomes a feedback loop, in that when you heard CT discuss with those guys on that panel about, you know, why they keep making the same content and they're not making any money, I think they're in a feedback loop. YouTube has them basically chasing their tail, trying to create, you know, content focusing on women and relationships and things like that. But as in many things in life, that may be searched upon, but one or two people may suck up all of the viewers and leave you with scraps. And I think that is really what's happening here, is that that's the issue, that they're seeing the numbers people are searching for, but they're just not going to their content. The people who have higher audience engagement are getting the viewers because, again, they're engaging in the tips and tricks that the lead attorney does. Hey, put your city and state in the chat. If you ever heard the lead attorney, he's like, put your city and state in the chat, and things like that. Whenever someone gives them a super chat, he tells the people in the chat to thank that person in the chat. He's doing that to get audience engagement, and it's very slick. He's a very intelligent guy, because if he just told you, hey, YouTube needs me to get you guys to put something in the chat, not many people would do it. But if you can subtly encourage people to do it, they'll do it for you to your benefit. And you guys should check his channel out if you're looking to start a stream, and watch how he does it over and over all day long. And I'm guessing I'm going to show you one more thing to show you why I think it is so effective. Has anyone ever heard of Playboard? Anyone ever heard of Playboard? Yes, no. Put it in the chat. I much rather do like quality content and have a handful of people, handful being relative clearly, than just chasing super chats. Super chats. If someone just told you they take 30% of their money anyway, there's no way I want to be tied to someone that's taking 30% of my money without working for it. Again, I'm in the Airbnb business. And, one of the biggest things I've tried my best to do is diminish their composition to my revenue. Like, I don't want 100% of my revenue from Airbnb because they're taking 20 or 30%. I'd rather get 40, 50% from Airbnb and figure out a way to generate the other business on my own, because I don't have a middleman. I don't have to pay the VIG to Airbnb or to Super Chats. And I think that is what is really killing the streamers, is that you have someone that you're paying 30%. You add in the StreamYard fees that you have to pay. There's probably some storage. If you're creating YouTube shorts, it can be very expensive. And then someone's taking 30%, and you're not pitching in on any of the shorts, the videos, nothing. Man, that's a good business. That's a damn good business. That's a damn good business. A very good business. So let me show you this video, this page. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of Playboard, but if you haven't, I'll show you this. We're going to get out of here today. Let me see. Playboard. Anyone ever heard of Playboard? In the chat if you have. But yes, I've heard of Playboard. No, if I have not, I don't want to bore you. Seven Steel said he's not familiar. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, damn. Maybe it's what's the was it? I think it was Playboard. Oh, okay. I had the wrong address. Playboard. Let me share this tab with you. Let me know if you ever seen my screen. You ever seen this before? Has anyone ever seen this before? Anyone ever seen this? If you can see it, let me know. Let me make sure you can see this. Let's see. I'm just going to blow up one column so you can see one column at a time. Can you see this right here? Can everyone see this? You can see this, right? So you see how much money some of these streamers are making. This is daily. Let me make sure it's daily. Daily, yeah. And these are super chats. I'm pretty sure these are super chats. I think they can't measure your cash apps. So just imagine how much YouTube is getting out of all this. So you see some guy here, Super Barrett, $19.28 a week. But well, damn, is that a day? That's daily. Sorry, it's daily. All right, so 1,900 daily, 13, blah blah blah, 12.95. Let's see what these. Now, he may do that one day, and then someone else may really knock it out of the box another day. So let's look at here. So for a weekly, it totally changed up, right? So you have Funny Time. He's $16,000. Showbiz, $11,000. Lawyer U, $8,400. You probably recognize his name, Tim Cass. I think it's Tim Pool, right? $8,300 for the week. And Jerome ASF. Is that Jerome as fuck? I'm not sure. But 8,000. Sorry. Let's go across. Let's look at some other things here. Most live viewers. if you can see this stream, you'll see this guy is 1 and 2 on a daily basis. And then, wow, look at here. Micro strategy, number 3. And then this guy again. But it's not really translating to revenue because he has a lot of viewers, but it's not revenue. Look, same here for Taylor Swift. Not a lot of revenue generated because all these views and they're not here. Which, clearly lets you know that these people here have high value viewers because they're getting a lot of super chats, but none of them in the most viewed, most live viewers. And I think all of these people go live. Right? And let's see, weekly over here. Wow, so you see CBS News, blah, 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 Fox, blah, blah, blah. Right? And most popular. So you see all of this over here. Playboard. Okay, and let's see what else is down here. I mean, you get to see everything. Most growth, daily, weekly, most viewed. But all of this, it kind of gives you an idea of who's spending money on a daily, week. If you're trying to make your living super chatting, getting super chats or something like that. Like clearly people are paying a lot of money. And I don't know what all these people are talking about, but they're talking about something that's getting people to kick out the cash, Let's see what Funny Time talks about. And you see here, his comment rate is very low. This almost seems weird. This must have been a one day thing here. Last 7 days, $500 a check. Okay, I don't know what this guy does. Anyway, I think this is a good stopping point. Unless you guys have questions. Yeah, that is daily. Yeah, you want to see what weekly? I'll put the weekly back up for you. Weekly, there you go. $16,000 a week for some of these people. But again, I think this is so dynamic, and I think I showed it to you. That daily to weekly, one guy's winning the daily, but he doesn't win the weekly. The guy that's winning the weekly probably doesn't win 2 weeks in a row. It just depends on, I guess, the user engagement, the topics that are coming to the public sphere. Anyway, if there are no more questions, how do you become monetized? I'll show you that in the next segment. And I think that'll be pretty informative as well. But yeah, YouTube has a few criteria to determine when you become monetized. So I'll show you guys that as well. Any other questions, any topics you want me to cover, anything before I get out of here today? All right. I don't think so. Let me go through the comments before I go. That recent unsubscriber. That's a good question. I'm going to look into that, see if I can find it. Probably not. Probably people start wondering if you put me on, you could go out and start looking for these people. Let's see. YouTube is eating all the super chats. That is correct. That is really amazing. You look at how much money these guys are making. Someone's getting 30% of all of that. Poll questions added to the engagement. Likes too. I think we covered that. The views clearly matter, but it's about the audience engagement. How long will they stay glued to the screen? The shares matter more than the views because I think the views can be gained. You can just open the screen and walk away, but it takes a little bit more effort to make a share. Anything else? All right. I think this has been a great stream. I think it's been very informative. Similar to the Bitcoin stream. It may not reach a lot of people, but I think the people that it reach will be, it'd be fairly valuable if you're looking to get into streaming. And I'll do another one to cover more about how you can get monetized, things like that. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. Maybe I'll see you over at CT stream, but back to work. Post 4th of July.